Yeah, we'll get our Sunday night stream fired up here. Let everything get caught up. Give it a couple minutes. Thanks for popping in. Yeah. Oh, what a pain. What a pain TikTok is sometimes. You hear me, TikTok? I'm talking to you. You are a pain. Trying to get some of this stuff set up. So we'll work on that for next week. I think just going back on I'm just going to share my live again here on Facebook. Give a few minutes for everything to fire up, get warmed up. We're going to tie back into the story tonight. And yeah, there we go. And just bear with me if I miss a comment or something. Where do I go to the chat? Here we go. Yeah. Feel free to drop a comment in. Let me know that this is working on other platforms. Boy, I wish we could shut the AI off. That'd be nice. We're doing our best with we're doing the best we can with TikTok tonight, so that's how it is. Now let's do a quick audio test to make sure everything's working here.
Mga sama uhtaoja, heugona kamiokishi huokagitit.
Okay, that seems to be, I think that's doing okay. We got Namugigwe viewers on other platforms here, so that's fine. We'll just go for a bit. All right, welcome back. Sunday night. Man, we're like 43 minutes into this story here.
Ton mana hegi ai kate maako hata isinoa hane kas tewas timnapis timan.
If you're on TikTok, just drop me a comment. Let me know if you can hear that okay.
Maganda mo o yake o chakaski tata pohchi kaito te tanhim satemo hepsan.
I'm not sure what I have for options for tweaking the volume on that. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Joanna. Miyasan Nanma. Yeah, let's just back up about, let's go back about a minute and just get caught up to where we're at. So we're at 43, we're 43 minutes into this story. So I'm going to go back to about 42. I'll say right about here, I guess. Yeah, and we'll just have a little quick listen here.
Egitskwe kapaut. Osame sa hewa panigan may gisinimi to ehtoma. Kagi na tatanhim satemo kagi peki ehtahat. Niso esa kimi ewanhe no kom kagi tatman. Kika apache hait ka pitso ehtoma kika papmohta tekutahan no to gawana. Omiko wa minaga kyo higi kagi pitsikman. Ego hekta kiot nama sona peste mahikas ketesit. Egim segetit wa hagi kostate kosoa namsatim. Ego minam to negi kinoans ko tegi kinoayu tegi mio se tegi sohkeset. Maganda mo o yake o chakaski tata pohchi kaito te tanhim satemo hepsan. Ton mana hegi ai kate maako hata isinoa hane kas tewas timnapis timan. Eogwana napogo.
Eoguanana Bogo. So that's where we fire up tonight. He brought back, what did he say, 32? I think 32 horses, he said, to camp, and then 2 for my grandmother, he said, and he took the black one for himself. A beautiful horse with a long mane and that everybody was afraid of, I guess. Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you're just tuning in, we're working on this story. Oh, and I forgot to pull up the YouTube channel. Tisqua. So we're working with this knowledge keeper out of Sweetgrass. His name is Wes Fineday, and let me just pull up the videos here. These are the videos. This is so we've started a project called Sweetgrass Stories: A 21st Century Perspective. You can go find these videos on YouTube, or you can, if you're on my TikTok, the link's in my bio. You can go listen to these stories. I think we have about 4 hours so far on there on the YouTube channel. We have about 24 hours of stories from Wes that we're going to be sharing, and we're just still working on the first one. It wasn't the first one we recorded, but it's the first of the series here. Just let me get my show toolbar, ghost mode. Yeah, there we go. I like to draw on things. So this one here, if you go to the YouTube channel, this is the story we're working on, How Sweetgrass Became Chief. It's 63 minutes long. We are about 43 minutes into the story, so we've done quite a bit so far. And if you're brand new to transcribing, feel free to stick around. It's a great way to pick up more advanced language, because as we go in and we puzzle out every single word, and actually we'll get to go back and ask Wes some questions here too. But just as an example, let me go see if I can find that one issue that we were struggling with last week or a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't that far back in the story. Mionok ite geese is what he said. And I know what it is now, but it took me a few minutes to find it. Mionok ite geese. Let me see if I can, let's do a quick search here. Yeah, there it is right there.
Tapsku tigo geise mionok te geise.
So now I know that geese is that was a false start, what they call a false start. Just going to resolve that issue, because he was going to say something. Mionok is like a good place, and it literally is ite geese. So if you look that up, Mionok is not, I couldn't find that in the Mionok, I can't find that. But it's like a good place. But ite ge is in that direction, and ite geese, same thing, in that direction. Ite geese. And the only reason I figured it out is because I was listening to, he said in another story, or another, I think it was Tsimon Peak or Gakaskti Sitkigwe, I think, one or the other, he kept saying that, ite geese, ite geese. So anyway, it took us it took us a minute. Let me just mark this other region.
Egitskwe kapaut.
I just needed to mark that one as so I could come back to it. I'm actually going to leave it like that so I can go back and work on it with Wes. All right, so let's get back into this. I'll just double check. If I miss your comment on TikTok, please just drop it again. We tried to get everything into one place for streaming tonight. Still juggling computers and things, and it's all annoying, but it is what it is. If you're tuning in from other channels, drop a comment and let me know that the sound's coming through okay. And we're going to pick up where we left off last week on this last. We're 43 minutes and 4 seconds in here.
Eoguana napogo. Eoguana napogo.
Eoguanana. Eoguanana pogo. Yeah. Dwayne, yeah. Sorry, I don't know your name. Yeah. This is Nihiwi in Plains Cree dialect. Move it to the left a bit. How about there? Is that better? I can't get the whole screen, and there's actually more on the other side also. On Facebook and YouTube, we're streaming in full screen mode, I guess. TikTok, I just about had it working, but we were having issues with the audio, so hope that's a little better. Hey, Max, fine day, miasen. Yeah. Oh, okay, thank you. Deodawenye. That's cool. Hope I said that right. Yeah, this is Nihiwi in Plains Cree dialect. Let me know if there's any other issues. Let's keep going on this.
Uikaskoksein gagiti teuga egune pogomana namsatim.
Uikaskoksein, got the first part anyway.
Uikaskoksein gagiti teuga egune pogomana namsatim. Uikaskoksein gagiti teuga egune pogomana namsatim.
He started saying eo go.
Uikaskoksein gagiti teuga egune pogomana namsatim.
I think, yeah, there's more context here. We'll just keep going and see what this next section says.
Egit baktinat.
He was allowed. He allowed him, the mistatim. Pagittinat. Pagittinat. Yeah, so it actually, let's combine those because those belong together. Tiskwa. Yeah.
Kikapeuten gut. Uikaskoksein gagiti teuga egune pogomana namsatim. Uikaskoksein gagiti teuga egune pogomana namsatim. Egit baktinat.
All right, he was the only one. So Wikaskoksein Gagitit, the one called Sweetgrass, Old Man Sweetgrass, maybe you'd say. Elgo ne pogo mana mistitame pagitnat. He was the only one. Does he say ego ne or ego nick?
Uikaskoksein gagiti teuga egune pogomana namsatim. Egit.
Sounds like ego ne, but I don't know if there's a difference between those. Okay, this is the one. This one. So yeah. Ego ne pogo. He was the only one he would allow. Let's grab the next chunk here and see what that says.
Kikapeuten gut, kikapesamen gut, kikapeuiahte kotoma. Kikapeuten gut, kikapesamen gut, kikapeuiahte kotoma.
to come and get him, to come and touch him. That last word I gotta listen to one more time here.
Kikapeutun gut kikapesamen gut kikapewiahte kotoma.
We are bitte gut. We are bitte. We are bitte. I don't know that word. I've heard it before. We are bitte. Rig him up. Okay, harness. Oh, we are bitte. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Was the only one he would allow to come near him, handle him, and harness him, basically. Yeah. Cool.
Egua katehtapit.
And of course to ride him. Egua. Giga. Tehtapit. Tehtap. Be it. Yeah. Because it's, yeah, that makes sense.
Egua katehtapit.
Yeah. think, yeah, I think I'll leave that one on its own. Grab this next chunk here.
Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje ginotun gete we no te hato.
Go taga nu. Go taga. Wonder why that's not. I wonder if we run into this one before. Yeah, it's spelled right, so.
Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje ginotun gete we no te hato. Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje.
Epimaktik? I don't know that word.
Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje ginotun gete we no te hato.
What's the word? Do you know the Marie says he moved swiftly. Yeah, what's the word?
Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje ginotun.
That would probably be it. To go by quickly. Epimagutik mana. That'd be it right there. I think that's it.
Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje ginotun gete we no te hato. Kotakahisino.
So squats. Iggy Norton Gate, I think you said. Pretty sure that's the long O.
Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje ginotun gete we no te hato. Kotakahisino hek segip makse bana so squaje ginotun gete we no te hato.
Yeah, interesting. Challenged them. Marie says he challenged them. Notin. Interesting. Put up a fight. Here we notes a hat. Somebody that pursued them, I guess, would be the context for that one. Pursue or go after in this context. So the horse, kotagai sinu egse e pimagote mana so squats e ginutinge te we note hatoma. What was pimagotin again? Put up a fight? You said challenge, Murray. Oh, they moved quickly. That's the one. So squats. Because he would put up a fight and pursue them, I guess. Interesting. Yeah. Sabrina says, is this Ojibwe? Moya, Nehiwe and Plains Cree Y dialect. Plains Cree Y dialect.
Kikosta te goso.
Costa de Gosu. Was frightening, I guess you'd say. They were dreadful. Inspires awe. Marie says, without hesitation, knowing he was going into battle with them. Interesting. Oh, hey, thanks for the gifts. I'm so sorry. I'm always looking for comments and I never see that people send me gifts, so I appreciate those. Okay, let's keep going here. Yeah.
Ego, wasaga ta he wi ko toma. Ego, wasaga ta he wi ko toma.
I keep spelling this like Iwikuitoma. That's just not a. So the verb here is we gu, which is literally just somebody lives there. And if it was, I'm tempted in my mind to think that this is the. Sorry, let me make this. Move it over so you can see it on TikTok here. Yeah, Sabrina, I'll come right back to that in a second. If it was the other person, a we git, but I feel like this form that he's using, it's not in here, but I feel like it's I feel like it's like this one. But he uses this particular form of the language a lot. It sounds like a wiguit. That's what I'm hearing.
Ego, wasaga ta he wi ko toma.
Wasagamego ta wiguitoma. That's what I'm hearing. Existence of an encampment. Yeah. Sabrina, this is a piece of software. It's the project we just launched. It's called Story Transcribing. You can find it here at kiano.net. Let me find the thing right there. Kiano.net. And we're building out support for more indigenous languages on the spell checking side, but you can go transcribe anything in there right now if you want. As spell checkers become available for additional languages, we're meeting with folks as we speak to build in more support for additional languages. So, and yeah, if you're new to if you're new to transcribing, this is a really great way to advance your language as a learner. So basically, we take a story and we go in and figure out every single word, and it's pretty hard in the beginning, especially, but it's way more fun. What I call it multiplayer when there's lots of us. So tonight we've got Marie with us. I Other fluent speakers, excuse me, will jump in. We'll have other learners, people hanging out, and it's just really pretty awesome because we'll figure out lots of words, hear lots of new words, and then I will literally go back. It's really super interesting. So if I go back to these stories for a second, when I've been driving lately, I actually burned all of the data on my phone plan because I've been listening to these stories while I'm driving. Just coming back from Edmonton, and like I said, there's about 4 hours of stories on here so far. I've got over 24 hours of stories, so I still got quite a bit to go through. But I've re-listened to all of these, and just by transcribing this one story, we're 40 minutes into this 60-minute story. Just by transcribing those and going back and listening to these other stories, there's already so much in there that there were parts of those stories he told that I didn't understand before at all. And now I listen to them and I'm like, oh, that's what he was talking about. That's interesting. I mean, there's still lots in there I don't understand, lots of words and stuff, but there's lots more words now that I do understand. And so it's been really meaningful work so far to get through here and start transcribing. It's like, I always use this analogy of, and you know what, I'm going to use it again because I think it's, here, let me pull up I've got this photo. I think in May of this year, I think it was May. I was at Métis Crossing, and this is the photo. Let me see if I have an older one. Yeah, I'll use this one here. So it's kind of like, this was a big Lego puzzle thing that they were doing. Tisqua. There it is. This gigantic Lego puzzle they were working on at this conference at the Métis Crossing. And it's like, so I've been using this analogy of like, you go through and finding each of the words in a story is like putting the different pieces in place. You put like that shade of red and you get a few more shades of red around it. You put this one in place. You start putting all of these different puzzle pieces in place. And then it takes a long time and it takes a lot of work. But eventually you get to this place where you can look back and you can start to see the bigger picture taking shape, right? The more pieces you put in place, then you listen to a story and it's a little bit more complete, right? And it's a little bit more complete. So as you get further into them, just looking for another picture here, you get a little bit further in, and then the picture's a little bit more complete. And before you know it, you're like, oh, okay, I can see what's going on here. I still don't have all of the pieces, right? I still don't have all of the pieces, but the picture is becoming more complete. That's exactly what transcribing does for you, in my experience. You don't have to do it this way. I'm not going to tell anybody you have to do it this way. But if you do this, you will gain a lot of language. If you go through this process, you will gain a lot of language. Even as a fluent speaker, I mean, going through this process, I think you would learn quite a bit, because all of the fluent speakers I know have mentors also, right? Listen to old. Let me get caught up to my questions here, my comments here. Sabrina says, oh, wow, that's great. I was just scrolling. My mother used to teach Ojibwe in university 30 years. For 30 years. That's amazing. Yeah, and it's if you're looking for a way to advance your language in an intermediate level, this is a good way to do it. you need, regardless of which way you do it, you need to go figure out all those words. You need to figure out what all those words mean. This is just sort of giving a little bit of structure to that process. Ah, Christine, hi, tapwe. Christine, this was my grandmother's language too. So I'm learning it for my kids. Yeah, Joanna says, I'm learning a Cree prayer. I'm going to use the software. Tapwe, that'd be good. Marie, all around there existed an encampment for people or people living together. Morgan, can anyone see these videos on YouTube? They should be on YouTube. Absolutely. If you go to my YouTube, oh, you're talking about Wes's videos. The link's in my bio. If you're on TikTok, you can go to my bio, link in bio or whatever, and there's a link to these videos on there. Tisqua. Do I have this tab muted? There we go. Profile. If you go to my link in bio, right here, my link tree right here in the middle. If you go there, and then you can see them right at the top. You can get to these stories right at that first link at the top. That'll take you to the YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay, let's do a little bit more. Got a few folks tuned in onto their platforms. Just drop a comment and let me know if everything's going good over there, just so I know. Sabrina says, my mother and Saul worked together at the university for many years, and he did the Cree job. She did Ojibwe. That's cool. Noreen, I need to figure out how to upload sound clips. Hey, Darcy. Mia sine tago sini enkya. How did the round dance go? Okay, let's do a little bit more here.
Msate mo. Ki papa mo, papa ma peke neo. Msate mo. Ki papa mo, papa ma peke neo.
Papa mo peke neo. Papa mo teo. Papa mo peke neo. Sounds like it has something to do with water. And just search through Ben's site here. No, I don't see anything. Papam peganeo. Papam peganeo. Can you just say pagan? Huh. I don't think it's in there. So yeah, good catch. I think that's exactly what it is. Papam peganeo. What does it mean though, Marie? He led them. In the context of like that horse led all of the other horses, or is he leading somebody specifically somewhere? Oh no, he led the horse. Yeah, no, he led the horse. That would have to be Mistatamo. That makes sense. Tisqua.
No tugo. No tugo. E kai kaya wai tau ya ki ka pami hoit ki ga wichi hoit. No tugo. E kai kaya wai tau ya ki ka pami hoit ki ga wichi hoit. No tugo. E kai kaya wai tau ya ki ka pami hoit.
Aya what is what I would expect. Aya what? No. Ayaweo is the word. Tishkwa. This is one of those ones I have trouble with. Ayawat. I think that's what I'm hearing. Tishkwa.
No tugo e ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi. No
Ayawit. I got, okay, thank you. My learner ears, I've never heard anybody say that word before, but it's Tishkwa. It's this one here. Yawit. No one to care for her. Old woman who had no one to care for them. Tishkwa, let me see if I can find it. It's gonna be at the top, no? Tishkwa. No. Huh. Not that the dictionary's always right, but let me listen to this one more time.
no tugo e ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit. No tugo e ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit. E ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit. E ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit.
Just kind of writing down what I hear, and then we'll see if we can. Weetsi. Tishkwa. Let me listen to that one more time. There's advanced language in here, so I'm struggling with it.
E ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit. E ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit.
Mihuit. Miheo? I don't know these words. That's what I'm hearing. I think.
E ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit.
Yeah. Marie says, without anyone to manage life to help them. TikTok, Marie. Yeah, I'll come back to these because puts me back in that spot where he's using language that seems very, yeah, I'll come back to it. It's fine.
E ko ni msa te mo hei gin to mi at. E ko ni msa te mo hei gin to mi at.
Egin Tomiat. So any old, yeah, that makes sense. Any of the old women that didn't have anyone to look after them, he went and gave them horses.
No tugo e ka ya wa to ya ki ka pa mi hoit ka ki ga wi chi hoit.
just wanted to go back and flag these just so that they'll pop up on my list later on, because I need to spend more time with those and try and find Weetzi Huit. Weetzi, because I think that is from Weetzi Hueo, right? Yeah. So that one, without anyone to assist. So even if I look at that one, he's saying it very clearly. Tisquel, let's pop this over so we can see it on TikTok. There's a form here that would be we see who. Yeah, it's not even there. And it seems like it's maybe related to this. Huh. Yeah, it's just he uses a form of verbs that I don't really hear anywhere else. And so I just don't know if I'm mishearing it, or if it's a variation of another form, or if it's just completely different altogether. And that's what trips me up on those. That's okay, we'll just move on. Oh, I got to watch. I'm not muting myself. Sorry, I was muted for that, Carrie. I'll repeat myself. To any of the old women that didn't have anyone to help them out. With old women without anyone to manage life to help them. Maurice says, to those ones he went to give horses to them. Maureen, no, the system does not transcribe for you. The whole point of the system is so that you can transcribe it for yourself. There's no like AI or automated system or anything in here. The process of transcribing is what gives us language. Yeah. All right, let's do a little more here.
Kehtiä, eikä oskaja heija vait kikaviitsihuit. Kehtiä, eikä oskaja heija vait kikaviitsihuit.
Yeah, same thing here. He's saying that word so clearly. Oskaya. How does he spell? Yeah, I was just looking for the spelling. Yeah, the elders who don't have any young people. Again, he says, I think again, he says it super clear.
Kehtiä, eikä oskaja heija vait kikaviitsihuit. Kehtiä, eikä oskaja heija vait kikaviitsihuit.
What am I hearing here?
Kehtiä, eikä oskaja heija vait kikaviitsihuit.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't think it's right. Marie says go Weetzi. So what he's saying here is any old people that don't have young people to help them. Again, I'm getting hung up on the actual words. That one should come from this one. Ayawu. Tisqua. Let's dig into this. Because this is going to be basically 3 to 4. Tisqua. It's going to be 3 to 4. Three singular though, not plural. Tisqua. Ayawat is what. See, that's, I think that's what he's saying. Ayawat, but that's not what I'm hearing. Is ayawat. That should be this. Oskaya. Kiteaya. Eka. Oskaya e ayawat. Kegawiti. And this feels like, yeah, let's listen to it one more time.
Kehtiä, eikä ei oskaya, ei jäävät kikawitsihuit.
Yeah, I think this one's correct, ayawat. It's just the way he's saying it, like, so fluently. This one here, kikawitihuit. One more time.
Kehtiä, eikä ei oskaya, ei jäävät kikawitsihuit.
Yeah, I can hear him say that so clearly, but I don't know that particular word. I mean, I know what it means. I know what he's saying. I don't know the form, the variation. That's okay. We'll flag it. We'll move on. Witziguit. I'm not quite hearing that though. Is it just the way he's saying it?
Kehtiä, eikä ei oskaya, ei jäävät kikawitsihuit.
I'm not hearing Witzihiguit. Like he's used. This is the same form that all of these ones were as well.
No tuoa, eikä jäävät toja kikapamihuit, kikawitsihuit.
Oh, and I've been muted on Facebook the whole time. I gotta quit doing that. We're having discussions about this word. I've got to mute. If you're following on Facebook or YouTube, I've got to mute. If I play back, actually, I'll do it right now.
Ei kun ihminen kinto, mekin asut, missä temo.
Yeah, so I have to mute it, otherwise it gets that echo. So if I'm muted, I'm rambling or whatever. Just drop a comment, remind me that I'm muted. Yeah. Oh, and my the cat. Oh, somebody shut the door. You know, if you want to get the cat's attention, you only need shut a door. Yeah. Poor kitty. Somebody shut the door. AI thinks that we're talking about horse care and language analysis. So accurate. So accurate.
Eko nehmine kinto megilasot nisatemo.
Meginasut. Would you say gift yourself? I didn't even know that was a word. Meginowil. That'd be it. Oh, cat. Oh my goodness. Here, let me call the fire department and let them know that this cat's just jamox. Holy cow. Just, oh my goodness. The world has come to an end. Someone has closed the door. I said to my wife, I said to the family chat, someone has locked the cat in the room and all of TikTok knows it. All right, Megana. So, oh, to give up, share food, give thanks, give gifts away. Megana. So I understood that incorrectly. Tisqua, let's listen to it again.
Eko nehmine kinto megilasot nisatemo.
So he gave all of his horses away. That's what that. He gave all of his horses away. I'm gonna flag that one because Megina so is not in there. But it's a production, right? If you're not familiar with that, actually we could take a second and talk about it. Megina, so because it really comes from this word Meginowo. We just looked at that one a second ago. Meginowo is the root. Megino. And there's this production that happens if we look at that. So we have Megino. And this part here is really effectively in what they call inflection. Just get a big line there before. Oh, cat. Meow. Oh my goodness, somebody locked you in and you're just... Yeah, I'm trying to hail my wife or my son here. Tisqua. Oh, I'll just have to go let the cat out, you know. That's just what's gonna have to happen. Tisqua. Try and hail the right people. Chat. Hey, Cameron, Mananto, Kimaga. So we've got this Meginowo, which is basically the form is that one gives something to someone else. Sometimes you'll see that as the fourth person, but they mark this with the like that for some reason. I'm not sure why. But this is the part that means that. The part that involves the other person. Thank you. Oh yeah. Yeah. And so what happens is we can take this, like I can say if I give, oh, it's a VAI. Wait a minute, that's so weird. This is, I think this has been mislabeled. That's really interesting. Anyway, what's happening here is it's productive. So basically you take this, what they call the reflexive isso. So like, would be a good example of that. Well, it wouldn't make sense, but you could say Witamuo, which means that one tells someone something. And then you could say maybe like, boy, my stuff's being a pain today. Witamuo. And same thing, you can break it there and add isso and say Witamaso, which I guess, I don't know if that would totally make sense. But really what's happening is you're taking this part here. There's a boundary, and then you add isso, and then on the inflection on the end. So this is inflection. And what happens is it would be grammatically incorrect to say Witamosu. That kind of wouldn't make sense. Well, I mean, it just wouldn't make sense. So this part here, this AWI, for whatever reason here, collapses into this long A sound. And so that's what's happening here, is we're ending up with Megano. So then it would sound weird to say Meganoisu. Wouldn't make sense. This is going to collapse into a long A. Meganasu. And give your things away, I guess. I guess maybe that's what that means. And the sut is past tense, Marie is saying. Yeah, let's listen to it one more time.
Eiko nehmine kinto meginasot misatemo.
Yeah, went and gave away all of his horses.
Eiko kispinna noso maga mam tonehta mak. Eiko kispinna noso maga mam tonehta mak. Eiko kispinna noso maga mam tonehta mak.
Nutsomaga mam mitonetama. What's mam mit? Come on, mam tonetama.
Kayasma na kispinna uyakki go egi kispinna tas ego hegi. Kayasma na kispinna uyakki go egi kispinna tas ego hegi. Kayasma na kispinna uyakki go egi kispinna tas ego hegi.
Egi spin spin. I'm not quite. Spin something.
Kayasma na kispinna uyakki go egi kispinna tas ego hegi.
Egi. We'll grab that next chunk in a second. I'm just going to see if I can find Gispinata. I've heard that word before. What does that mean again? Gispinatum. Earn. Oh, I see. That they've earned something. That they've earned in general, like a living almost, or they've had earnings. Gispinata. If it's been a long time since somebody earned something.
Kayasma na kispinna uyakki go egi kispinna tas ego hegi pe.
I'm actually going to split this up.
Kayasma na kispinna uyakki go egi kispinna tas ego.
I'm going to grab this chunk here right there, starting with egua.
Kayasma Ego egi pe wiche heske egi pe miski koi. Kayasma na kispina o yaki koi egi kispina tas.
It sounds like gispin though. No, gispin Tisqua. Let's see if I can find this. Because I'm hearing ask at the end. Gispin at ask is what it sounds like. Gispin. Gispinatsugeo, gispinatam, gispinatamaso. Yeah, I think you're right. When I listen to these other words, Marie, just one second, because he says disqua. Let's listen to this next chunk.
Ego egi pe wiche heske egi pe miski koi.
See, because of those, the hisk, anybody's helped you, egimisk, anybody's given you something. That's what's making me. It sounds like I'm almost hearing it in that other one too. That ask.
Ego kispina no so maka mam to nehta ma. Kayasma na kispina o yaki koi egi kispina tas. Ego egi pe wiche heske egi pe miski koi.
Egipemisk.
Ego egi pe wiche heske egi pe miski koi.
It's weird. That's not.
Tansimaan egi takihte gugu. Tansimaan egi takihte gugu. Kispina o egi ksi se isimami uaskawita taut. Kispina o egi ksi se isimami uaskawita taut. Kispina o egi ksi se isimami uaskawita taut.
Gispinau yakeksisi mamam egi. I think he said egi.
Kispina o egi ksi se isimami uaskawita taut.
Isimama mio waskuito tawit. This one too is how that was measured, Marie says. Reciprocal.
Pugai waakkiga kuetami hagnista. Pugai waakkiga kuetami hagnista. Pugai waakkiga kuetami hagnista. Pugai waakkiga kuetami hagnista.
I think that's what I'm hearing. Pugo ayuag kakakwe atame. What is... Oh, I see. Atame. You'll please them, I guess. I would please. You know, it's like me to you, I guess. It is necessary that I too enlighten him in spirit as well. Oh, I see. I missed one. If someone moved in that way, moved and treated me in a good way. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, interesting. It is necessary that I too enlighten him in spirit as well. Wow. Yeah, that's... wow. Huh. Yeah, I just wanted to sit and soak that in for a minute. That's really interesting.
Ai waki ga koe miyaki koe. Ai waki ga koe miyaki koe. Igo ke ispih te hitau ko ni kan magapimi.
Ispi de da guanyik.
Igo ke ispih te hitau ko ni kan magapimi.
Magapimiet. That's a long I. That's why that's... Yep. The crystals is an example.
Maga, wea wa wi kaskok sein. Maga, wea wa wi kaskok sein.
Yeah.
Mä ton so swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa ho hikagi papa mi atki koe.
Marie says, how what they gave me is what I return in value. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mä ton so swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa ho hikagi papa mi atki koe. Mä ton so swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa ho hikagi papa mi atki koe. Mä ton so swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa ho hikagi.
Ma meitse. I don't know this word at all.
Swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa ho hikagi. Swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa. Swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa ho hikagi.
Meitse is a preverb, isn't it? Meitse or muitse? Yeah. Muitse. Get the makse. Get the makse. Huck? Is that what he said?
Swats ma me chikut mo kiti maksa ho hikagi papa mi atki koe.
Get the makse ho. Marcus. Get the moxie, huh? Be like they were Magisi. Oh, come on. Mamuitikita magsiho. What's the last little bit there?
What's my mate good to mock, get the max a ho, he can give papa me at Gigway. What's my mate good to mock, get the max a ho, he can give papa me at Gigway.
Ega gigapami hat gigwe. Is that what he said? That's what I'm hearing.
Man, don't so what's my mate good to mock, get the max a ho, he can give papa me at Gigway. Get the max a ho, he can give papa me at. Get the max a ho, he can give papa me at Gigway. Get the max a ho, he can give papa me at Gigway.
Bame hat. Bame how? Is that how you say that? Oh, here. Okay, this is, okay, it's oh, chisqua.
Get the max a ho, he can give papa me at. Get the max a ho, he can give papa me at Gigway.
It sounds like kikagi pame hat gigwe. Kikagi pame hat gigwe. Yeah. Things he gave to those who were poor. Yeah, okay. There's a couple of things in here. I'm just going to flag this one. That's an issue here. This one I'm just going to take back. Just to, oh no, wrong one, shoot. Just to double check. Pami, is that a, it's not a Pamiheo, it's Pamiyeo or Pamiyat. Yeah, yeah, I understand what it means. I'm just trying to put the actual pieces in there. I'll put that in there, but I'm also going to go back and I'm still going to flag this one because I need to spend some time with it. Tisqua. One more time.
Man, don't so what's my mate good to mock, get the max a ho, he can give papa me at Gigway.
Yeah. Okay, I think we got it. Next chunk.
Kaks igi skehta wak na moi, apoy na moi, katskaw kagi. Kaks igi skehta wak na moi, apoy na moi, katskaw kagi. Tap. Kaks igi skehta wak na moi, apoy na moi, katskaw kagi. Tapas taitoma. Kaksi skehtaa na moi, apoi na moi, katskau kagi tapas taitoma. Kaksi skehtaa na moi, apoi na moi, katskau kagi tapas taitoma. Kaksi skehtaa na moi, apoi na moi, katskau kagi tapas taitoma.
All right.
Kaapnisima miatoma.
Mamiatuma. Oh, Delia. Ah, Delia. Thank you. Thank you for the correction.
Osa he na moi au kau te maam toneta. Osa he na moi au kau te maam toneta.
Usam na moyogo gautin mantaneta.
Wia ki koe kau, ki kape mahmi e, maaga o te hegi pntsaha. Wia ki koe kau, ki kape mahmi e, maaga o te hegi. Wia ki koe kau, ki kape mahmi e, maaga o te hegi pntsaha. Wia ki koe kau, ki kape mahmi e, maaga o te hegi pntsaha.
Reese says that was not what was in his thought processes. Oh yeah, Usam moyogo gautin mantaneta. Yeah. And then he's talking about Wiakigwe Kigapi Mamiet.
Wia ki koe kau, ki kape mahmi e, maaga o te hegi pntsaha. Maaga o te hegi pntsaha. Maaga o te hegi pntsaha.
Ote Egi Gemitsahat. What does that mean again? Oh, hey. Thank you. I thought I heard that. He follows his heart. Wia means like that one or that thing. That one. Nia is me, Kia is you, Wia, that one. But there's other places you can use Wia that's like confusing if you're a learner. Ote, so mite. If I say nite, I just want to get the spelling right here. Yeah. Is he saying ote hik? Like that.
Maaga o te hegi pntsaha.
I think this is a regional thing, right? Because I know the way Iris says heart, there's another vowel, there's another like syllable in there. Okay, Marie, that's what I'm hearing too. From his heart. Otehi. Otehi. Yeah, I think that's what I'm hearing. Okay, I think we got that one. This is so awesome. I love it when there's a bunch of people on the live and everybody's just like tossing stuff into the mix. It's amazing.
Mio watsuin, kita maagehtuin siitoskatuin. Ugohtimton kaagi mio watsuin, kita maagehtuin siitoskatuin. Ugohtimton kaagi
I'm not oh yeah, I guess. I was not guessing that word was going to show up. Okay, so it's reciprocal. Interesting. Miowatsuin. Yeah, interesting. Isn't that funny how the O and the W are the same letter? They're technically the same letter. Miowatsuin. That's why that happened.
mio watsuin, kita maagehtuin siitoskatuin. Ugohtimton kaagi mio watsuin, kita maagehtuin siitoskatuin. Ugohtimton kaagi mio watsuin, kita maagehtuin siitoskatuin. Ugohtimton kaagi
Cetos. I wonder if I've got that spelled. Cetoscat. Ceto. No, that comes from cetosquo. Same things happen there. Cetosco. Cetosco. Same things happening there as we talked about here. Yeah, where we've got cetosco. And again, that part on the end there is the part that means that one supports that other one, I guess you'd say. Is there really? Yeah, cetosco. Supports somebody. But if you break it here, and then you add ito, which means each other, but it would sound funny to say cetoskoitowak would be funky. Cetoskoitowak. So this part right here has to that sound changes to a long A like that. Cetoskatowak is what happens there. That sound change. Because this part, that wouldn't make sense. I just catch it. I got comments coming in left, right, center here. He followed his heart. From his heart, he acted in accordance with being a good being, kindness, support, the sacred law of supporting one another. Tapwe miyasan. Sito, Skatawin. I'm going to flag that one. All right, let's grab one more here.
Mamteme kagi mamteme mato haya. Mamteme kagi mamteme mato haya.
Mamtmeamat. Wonder if it's Mitsumeameo. Yeah. To have a fixed idea or hold a particular view. Mitsumeamat.
Mamteme kagi mamteme mato haya.
To keep someone in your thoughts. Wonder why that's not. Oh, because it's a long A. Yeah, okay. Trudy asked, does your program type in syllabics? We're going to add syllabic support. The only reason we haven't yet is because this is not a Cree app. Cree is just one of the languages we hope to support. And we need to think about how to do that in a way that if all of a sudden we were supporting Blackfoot and they wanted Blackfoot syllabics, or we were supporting any other languages that had syllabics or a custom orthography, we just need to think about how to support that, because we're not building an app for Nehiwe and Cree. We're building a platform in which multiple languages can be added. So we just need to do it the right way. So we definitely have it planned. We just have to think about it a little bit. What's going to be the correct way to pull that off? And then the same thing, if you added support for that custom orthography or writing system or something, then when you wanted to export something as well, like if you wanted to dump the file out in using that custom orthography, then that should be doable also. We just need to and then what do you do about, I mean, in theory, if you're using a syllabics keyboard, right, like you could take
Mamteme kagi mamteme.
In theory, you could just take this, right, and go syllabics app and just drop that in and grab the syllabics. In theory, you can just put that in there. We don't have spell checker support for syllabics yet. That would be interesting, what that would even look like. But so in theory, you can put syllabics in there right now if you want, if you have the keyboard installed or something. But the spell checker, the transducer, the thing that's doing the analysis and turning these words blue as I type, that only supports SRO right now that I'm aware of. I'm not sure that it has syllabic support.
Okite maksoa. Ego ne kachache egi wiche hat. Okite maksoa. Ego ne kachache egi wiche hat.
Gachats or Gatats, I think. He said that a couple times. Gatsats. Yeah, okay, so you can use either.
Okite maksoa. Ego ne kachache egi wiche hat.
The unfortunate. Yeah, in the way they spell that in SRO, Kitamagsu, because the W and the O are the same. Technically, the part of this word that makes the U sound is the W. Because W and O, even though they don't really talk about this in SRO, but like they're basically the same letter. They make the same sound. Kitamagsu. But some regions will pronounce that I, Kitamagsu. But I call that a weak vowel. Yeah, because if you put ISO, the reason they spell it this way is because it's a good example actually. Let's grab that for a second. SRO likes to keep the meaning in things, and the way this would break up is, grab that. Whoops, come on, Aaron, fingers. Get the mag, and then isse. So the get the mag would be the morpheme part that means, you know, pitiful or something, right? And so get the magan, get the mag askateo, get the magita, right? So the get the mag part is the pitiful part. But if you say, and then the isse means like thus, or the state of something, isse. So that's why they write it that way, is they want to keep this. If you write this, that has a different meaning in SRO. That's the reflexive isso, like I'm trying to think of a good example. Nemiskason, or a timison, a timsoyan, right? That is so. Yeah. So that's why they spell it with the I in SRO, is just to keep that meaning in there. Gatsats or gatats, those seem to be the same. He says gatsats here. One of the things I love about Wes is he speaks so clearly. So, and this one, actually, katsats does show up in the dictionary. It's there, it's just not indexing for some reason, so I'll just flag it, it's fine. Equinikatsats. All right, we're coming up on, well, it's 8:30 local time, so we'll go for a little bit more. We're 45 minutes in. It's amazing. Almost covered another 2.5 minutes tonight, I think.
Ego he skihtaavak no moi katskau kihtaam ka gitaa pastamaa goome siwi chihtaasot. Ego he skihtaavak no moi katskau kihtaam ka gitaa pastamaa goome siwi chihtaasot.
It was known, I guess you'd say. Oh, nimis. Mia sinni tago sinien. Kaya sa spin. Yeah, mia sin. Misteo ma kigi itote no. Aha, tapwe. It's a lot, 45 minutes. When I started doing this, it was like an hour a minute. Now I'm down to 20 to 25 minutes per minute. Yeah. Yeah, miu aya wak wisto. Tapwe. Miu matsu wak. Maga piak. Nagi naganao. No, what's how to leave nagi? Yeah, naganao. I left her there. Nagata. Naga leaves. How do you say leave somebody behind? Nagatao, that's it, yeah. I turn her in. Ngi nagatao. Amisku atsi waskaya ni ikanoe mat o okoma. Hey. Ikakanoe mat. I pit the mat till spring. I think she's going to be there. Yeah, she does a good job of taking care of her grandma.
Ego he skihtaavak no moi katskau kihtaam ka gitaa pastamaa goome siwi chihtaasot.
One more time, holy.
Ego he skihtaavak no moi katskau kihtaam ka gitaa pastamaa goome siwi chihtaasot. Ego he skrihtauach no moi katskau kihtam kagita pastamago me siwichi tasot.
Tapasta, that's that same word we ran into before. Tapasta, where was it now? One more time.
Ego he skrihtauach no moi katskau kihtam kagita pastamago me siwichi tasot.
Tapastamago. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, tapastamago. Kagi tapastamago.
Ego he skrihtauach no moi katskau kihtam kagita pastamago me siwichi tasot.
Ewitzita sut. Interesting. Tapastamago definitely is not getting picked up. Yeah. Tiskwa. Nimisitwo. Tagaki. Exigiga. Big squat then. Patsima sis. Ki. Kotawa. There's some TH in here. Kotawim. Tenawa. Tapstamago, put together or attached for him. Marie says they would never be able to put in place of equal value. Oh, did I get the last one wrong? Let me just do it one more time.
Ego he skrihtauach no moi katskau kihtam kagita pastamago me siwichi tasot.
Yesuitzita sut. Aya. This is Nehioe in Plains Cree dialect we're working on tonight. We're just about, I'm going to do one or two more and then we're going to wrap up because I'm starting to get, I drove all day. I was going to fly and then I realized I needed my truck. So then in a panic, we got the headlights fixed. And then it's like, it's like a 10.5 hour drive no matter where you do it. If you got kids, it's like a 12-hour drive. So I'm definitely feeling a little bit tired today still. Dopstumoil, can you say that? Dopstumoil. No. Not in the dictionary. All right, let's do a couple more.
O mio o te me tonegi wa pahti hata isino. O mio o te me tonegi wa pahti hata isino.
Is that first word a false start or is there actually a word o mi? Mio wapate hat. What's that again?
O mio o te me tonegi wa pahti hata isino.
Mio te.
O mio o te me tonegi wa pahti hata isino. O mio o te me tonegi wa pahti hata isino.
Yeah, from his good heart. That's what I thought. That's what I thought he would like. That's what it sounded like. But again, as a learner, I'm like, is that a word? Mio te. . Mio Ote it would have to be, I would think. Miote. Miote. Or can you just say miote? Oh, interesting. Interesting. No, I think that's something else. So I'm going to leave it the other way because it's Mitane Giwa Patihata. I seen you showed him something. Yeah. Huh. Super cool. Fushi says, "Are you self-taught?" That would be. I. On one hand, I guess I could say yes, but also not really because I mean I'm taught by the mentors you see commenting in the chat. I have too many. I have too many to mention. Oh, Lynn on Facebook says over here. Oh, omiote, omiote. Huh. I'm not familiar with that, or I'm not familiar with that word. Omi. Omi. Okay, interesting. That's so cool. I didn't know that. Over here. Omi. Omiote. Omiote. Huh. Let me listen to it one more time.
O mio te me tone giwa Patihata I sino.
I wonder why that's not indexing also. Okay, just a couple more. Then we're almost at 46 minutes. Almost at 46. Oh, we're so close to 46 minutes.
E ki te māgei magek ntai sini mage sāge hakek. E ki te māgei magek ntai sini mage sāge hakek.
Well, that's the other thing that I find interesting about. Actually, let's just back up to that one region, the last word, Aisinu.
O mio te me tone giwa Patihata I sino.
Sometimes he says Aisinu, and sometimes he says I see in you. Like very just distinctly, and I wonder if it's just like a preference sometimes.
E ki te māgei magek ntai sini mage sāge hakek.
Esa gihagik.
E ko neko ki ka mā moa ki te maks ke ui te hakek. E ko neko ki ka mā moa ki te maks ke ui te hakek. E ko neko ki ka mā moa ki te maks ke ui te hakek. E ko neko ki ka mā moa ki te maks ke ui te hakek.
Mamo to get the mags chick. That last word though.
E ko neko ki ka mā moa ki te maks ke ui te hakek.
Hey, we tiagik. Marie says he had shown in a great amount to his people. I am kind to my people because I love them. These most unfortunate I will help.
E ko neko ki ka mā moa ki te maks ke ui te hakek.
Hey, we tiagik. Are you hearing gawi or gawi we tiagik? Let me listen to it one more time.
Ego nego ki kama mo chiki te max chiki wi che hakik.
Yeah, we tiagik. That's what I'm hearing.
Na mo wi o ki kami o ya chik. Na mo wi o ki kami o ya chik.
Wia oge, I think he's saying.
Na mo wi o ki kami o ya chik.
Miuayao. I wonder why that's not. I'm certain that's how they spell it. Miuayao. Yeah. Oh, it's a long A on the first one. That's why. Miuayatik. Not those that are well. Moiwiogiga miuayatik.
O sam ka o ga koe mi kwa koma. O sam ka o ga koe mi kwa koma. O sam ka o ga koe mi kwa koma.
Miekwak. Is that what he says? Miek. Samgam kakwe miekwak uma. That's what I'm hearing. They'll try to give it back. Delia. Yeah, that's what I thought he was saying. Oh. Tisqua.
O sam ka o ga koe mi kwa koma.
It's just miss. Miekwak. Just trying to figure out why it won't analyze. But he's saying to me, right? They'll try to return it to me. Yeah, to me. So it's got to be ne. You just can't hear it in there, but that's what he's saying.
O sam ka o ga koe mi kwa koma.
Kakwe mi kwak. Yeah. Whenever they, I get hung up on these when they don't turn blue because I'm like, should be spell checking correctly, but it's fine. All right. Oh, we're at the 46-minute mark. We're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna call it a night. It's pretty good.
Ka koe tā pastawa go ba ka mi si wi che hakik ni. Na mo yo ka ma ka koe tā pastawa go ba ka mi si wi che hakik ni. Na mo yo ka mam to ne tama. Ka koe tā pastawa go ba ka mi si wi che hakik ni. Na mo yo ka mam to ne tama. Ka koe tā pastawa go ba ka mi si wi che hakik ni.
Witsehaki says. I just want that last part there.
Pastawa go ba ka mi si wi che hakik ni. Na mo yo ka mam to ne tama.
Witsia Gik, he says.
Pastawa go ba ka mi si wi che hakik ni. Na mo yo ka mam to ne tama. Pastawa go ba ka mi si wi che hakik ni. Na mo yo ka mam to ne tama.
I think that's all of it. Kakwe se. I think that's it. Let me listen to the whole thing one more time. There's some bits in the middle. It's like there's some really fast bits in the middle of it. I think that's it.
Kakkui taapastawago baka misiwiche haragnis namoyo ka mamtonehtama.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. It's amazing. I even transcribing English would be this hard sometimes when you get speaking really fast, right? Like yeah, we don't when you really get flowing or like, keeping in mind Wes is 45 minutes into this story, right? So like you've been sitting in a chair for 45 minutes kind of like babbling on for a while. Well, not him, but like when you do, if you sit around chatting for a while or whatever, you get kind of tired or you don't. So, and some of these stories, you don't really notice these things until you're transcribing, hey? Just like at the beginning of the story, a speaker might start out very clear and slow, and then by the end of the story, just like, or different parts of the story might be a lot faster if there's more happening. It's just really interesting to sort of like analyze the flow of a story. Marie says, how in the past I'd helped them, that is not what I am thinking of. Excuse me. I'll just turn my camera on for a minute here and we'll just visit for a couple minutes before we wrap up. Flip camera. Anyway, just the little things we think about as learners as we study. And like, yeah, all very interesting. There's lots in this last bit when he's finished the story and now he's talking about like relaying some of his own, I guess, experience and stuff. And there's a lot of language in there. One of the hardest things about learning, Nihui, when I find is there's a question here. I'll come back to that. Kakanawapam Gut says, what's awima? Do you mean awina or awima? I don't know that word. Awima. I don't recognize it. Nat, this is Nehioi with Plains Cree dialect. Delia, you can listen to the whole story. Tisco, I'll turn my camera around and show you. If you go to the link in my bio, and you can go here on this. Oh, did I close it? No, it's up here. And go to this YouTube site here. No, shoot, that's not what I wanted. Links in my bio. Sweetgrass Stories. We're calling the project Sweetgrass Stories: A 21st Century Perspective. If you go to the link in my bio, you can find. Click on the link. It'll take you to my link tree. This is so frustrating. Take you to my link tree, and you can find it there. The very first link in my link tree will take you to that YouTube channel, and then you can watch the stories there. That's the very first video I uploaded. Is the one we're working on. Is this one here? How Sweetgrass Became Chief. But I've got about 4 hours uploaded there now, and I've got about 24 hours of recordings of Wes telling stories. So through the winter here, as I get more time, I'll continue to upload them. This project was funded through Heritage Canada, so we got a grant to go sit down and just tape stories. And it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing because even just like I was saying earlier, working through this one story up to the point we're 40 minutes in and listening and listening and listening. And then I just went back on my drive back to West Kelowna. I went back and I listened to all of these stories again. I re-listened to all of them, and there was so much in there that there's so much in there that I didn't understand the first time through, and I just understand more and more and more. Max says, so interesting to see your process in transcribing. Had Dad sitting with me for a bit too. That's amazing. What's so cool is that the opportunity to go back and sit down with Wes and go through Max. We were even going through like the transcription when I was sitting with your dad in Saskatoon, and going through all of the ones where, let me just pull this up here, any of these ones that in red where I couldn't figure out the word, and just sitting down with, I thought, well, we'll do a few, we'll do like 5 or something, and did a few, and it was getting late. I'm like, well, if you're getting tired, maybe we'll take a break for tonight. He's like, no, let's keep going. And we went through. We must have cleared out about 30 of them. We cleared out all of them, all of the areas I'd marked in red that we were having problems with. We cleared every single one out, and then even later on, he wanted to do more, and I was like, no, we did them all. So I've got a whole new list to bring back for next time to be like, okay, there's a whole bunch more here to go through next time. I got a whole bunch of comments here. Yeah. Awina means who is this? Awina, who's this? Okay, I think we got that one. Yeah, awesome. Lots of positive feedback. Man, Max, thanks for jumping in. That's super fun. Ka ganawa pamgut. I hope somebody answers that. Ganawa pamgut kind of means like one who's looked over, I guess. Something like that. One who's entitled, Marie says. That's interesting. Delia says, Numusumerik minamiste atsimuna. Pitogwa panyuinote. I know that. I for this, love it. Pitogwa from Poundmaker, right? Pitogwa Piuyan. I think I said that right. Hope so. Yeah. Yeah. So this process has been amazing. It's been amazing. So, like I said, even just driving back through the mountains, and I went back and listened to some of those earlier stories that we recorded, especially the ones that had more advanced language. That one, Atsimuan Peak. It should have probably been called CPT Tamuin, maybe. But I listened to it again, and I was like, oh man, there was so much in there I did not get. Like the first and second, and maybe even the third time I listened to that story. But just having gone through now and like found, like Tawin naman, like to be given, I think that's the word, Tawin naman. Goyan, like given the opportunity kind of thing. Tawin nam, I think that's it. Just so many words. And like I said before, like that picture, right? Going through, one of the reasons I advocate for transcribing is because like, even if you were like an advanced speaker, right? Going through and figuring out every single word, it's like taking a puzzle. It's like taking a puzzle and putting the pieces in one at a time, and then pretty soon, like at the beginning, especially the puzzle's all like one of those, those really hard puzzles where all the pieces are the same color, where it's like it's a puzzle of the sky or like the snow, where everything's red at sunset or something, right? And you start putting the pieces in, but then pretty soon, before you know it, like you can step back and look at it, and you can start to see the picture. And language learning is a lot like that, where it's like you still don't have all the pieces. There's still some bits in there that don't quite make sense, but the picture starts to become visible, right? And that's what it's really been like with these stories. Is just like even these last sessions, going back and hearing more stories, and it just every time I understand more and more and more. And it was sitting with Wes this summer. Queen Bee, I'll come back to that comment in just a second. Even just this summer, sitting with Wes and going through this process, changed my mind about language learning, changed my mind about how to approach language learning. I used to feel like there was never enough time to learn. I used to feel like I would never be fluent. And I still think, there's still probably a cap in my lifetime to the degree of fluency that I can attain. But even just to get to the point of being able to understand people when they spoke, or being able to like tell a story, that's really my goal, right? I want to be able to tell stories. There's this Dakota guy, Alex, I met the other day. Was totally crazy story. I was driving back from Saskatoon, and we'd been going back and forth on TikTok with each other a little bit. and he's Dakota, I guess, but he's learning Lakota, I think. And anyway, we've been going back and forth and talking about like dictionaries and spell checkers and technology and stuff. And he messaged and he said, "Hey, sorry I haven't been in touch in a while. We're traveling. We should set something up." And he's talking about podcast episode and different stuff. I said, "Yeah, that's cool. I'm traveling too. Let's set it up next week." He's like, "Yeah, we're traveling too. We're in Edmonton for this Lakota conference." And I'm like, "Oh, that's wild. I'm going to be in Edmonton in like 3 hours." He's from South Dakota. He just happened to be in Edmonton at the same time I'm coming back from Saskatoon. So we went for dinner and it was amazing. Him and his wife, what is her name? Camille? And their little ones. Him and his wife, they're both learning. So he's Dakota and I think she's Lakota, and they're both learning Lakota. And they have 3 little ones in the home. And I was sitting there, and these 3 little ones, they didn't speak English at all. They just spoke Lakota at the table. It was like amazing. It was like mind blowing. Anyway, how did I get there? I forget. Somebody set me off. Anyway, I was talking about listening to Wes, and just this process of being out there this summer, and the process of sitting and listening, and gaining the amount of understanding and working on this and whatnot. The amount of language I have today, just from this project alone, it changed my mind, and I realized this is possible. This is my goals, being able to tell stories to my kids. Oh, and that's how I got there. This Alex, what's his last name? Fire Thunder? He tells a story in Lakota on TikTok every day for Indigenous, what is it? American Indigenous, I forget what it is. But he's been doing it every day. And I'm like, I'm like, oh, I want to be there so bad. I want to be able to tell a story every day. That would be so amazing. I'm just going to go back and catch up on my comments here. Chisqua. Collins trying to buy another Uber with his Anishinaabe one. Yeah. Hardest thing I find when learning the language. Queen Bee says, hardest thing I find when learning the language is being judged and laughed at when trying. I'd love to talk with you about that more. Is it specifically, because there could be multiple aspects to this. Is it specifically that you're getting words wrong in the grammar, or is it a pronunciation, or is it the sound of how you're speaking? I wonder about that. 'Cause I was thinking about this, and I know a lot of learners that sort of dodge the grammar sometimes, and they might say something like niningamoyan or nitatsimoyan, like they'll start with the independent beginning and they'll end with the conjunct ending because of the grammar. And I wonder if that's a part of it. Mind you, I guess there could be lots of reasons, but if that's the case, I mean, I would say hang around more learners if you can, because learners are going to be. I mean, I was thinking about this too, because our little one, who's 8 now, makes all kinds of language mistakes, and she'll say just funny things that we laugh at. But that's really hard when you're an adult. Like, if you do something and somebody laughs at you, like, it's very easy to take that. It's very easy to feel judged, hey, like, because we end up with all this conditioning. So, yeah, I'd love to chat with you more about that and find out specifically what your experience is. Carmen, this is recorded and on YouTube if you want to come back to it. Nat says, I'm studying anthro. Is there an example where you have to understand the culture to understand the language? I think so. I don't think it's sort of like if you read the dictionary. If you read the dictionary, there's a surface level of meaning there for the different words, but to fully understand what they mean, like if you're just hanging out on my oh, thanks, Diana. I'm just sort of all over the place, but thank you for the reminder. if you hang out on this live, like we will transcribe a little bit, and then I will say or look up a word and say what I think something means, but then the fluent speakers like Marie or somebody else will chime in with like this very detailed interpretation, right? And it's like there's way more meaning to it, especially culturally as well, right? So yeah, definitely I think so. And when you start learning the language, you start learning indigenous language, it'll start rewiring your brain, you'll start thinking differently. Carmen, that's so lucky for them. Yeah, I mean they did it on purpose, right? And it's amazing. It was amazing. I was like wow, these three little babies, like 5 and maybe 5 4 3 or something like that, and they're just speaking Lakota. It was so eye opening and so cool. Carmen asks, where did you go to start learning, and what would you suggest for beginners? So yes, I let me turn my camera around. If you go to my link in bio, Tisqua, I would say go to everything that's available to you. I know that sounds daunting, but if you go to my website, so Keanu, oh, this is such a pain. You can find the link in my bio down here, keanu.net, my site there. If you go there, and then up in the top it says Learner Library, you can go there. And then Tapwe Delia, yeah, Miunipak, yeah, Kista, Miuguame, Miutipskanse. If you go there and you search for Language of the Plains, I would recommend this Gino Kimasis. The Cree Language of the Plains workbook and audio sessions are here. They're free online, the PDF and the audio, and then the Cree Language of the Plains PDF as well. If you're getting started, I would start there because it's going to get you into not only some vocab, but also the grammar as well. That's a good place to start. And then find a class or find other learners to hang out with. For probably 3 years, the first 3+ years of my, maybe even 4, I just took every class I could find, especially online, like just everything. And every once in a while, I still pop into classes. I'm super busy now, so I don't always get time. But I would go to classes, even if I'd taken the class already, just to hear the fluent speakers speak, just to get that interaction, just to get that little bit of language. So I would start there if you're just starting to study. And then just start listening to the language as much as you're able. And in that same site you can drill down based on if you want to listen, if you want to watch, or whatever. I've got a bunch of stuff in there. I'm just going to get caught up on my comments here. Yeah, so that's what I would suggest. Listen a lot. Listen as much as I know it's really hard to listen to something and not understand it, but you start picking out the sounds, you start picking out the patterns, and then it'll just keep you curious about, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that ending? Oh, where does that belong, right? And hang out with other learners, especially people who are more advanced than you. That's the best thing a learner can do, in my opinion, is go hang out with learners who are better than you, because they will fast track you through everything. The learners have already tackled the problems that you're trying to tackle, and they'll fast track you. Lord's office. Tisqua means wait. Tisqua. Queen Bee, I'm not sure, but I'm not the only one who says this. I'm Swampy Cree and my dialect is different. What community are you from? Man, I love the sound of N dialect. Like in dialect, they don't say aya, they say ayu, or at least the ones that I follow, and it just N dialect just sounds so cool. It just does. But I have a little bit harder time. TH I can follow a little bit better because the TH is more obvious. But in N dialect, the N sound changes the word enough that I really have to listen sometimes. Sometimes it'll sound exactly the same, and then there'll be a bunch of words in there. And it's like, oh. But then if I slow down and talk with the N dialect speakers, like, oh, okay, no, I know those words. Just N makes them sound different. Yeah. Collins says some first speakers are too laterally violent to learn language from its reality. Yeah, I use the term problematic. Yeah, there's a lot of trauma and there's still a lot of challenges in language learning. Yeah, it's real. Mel, what's the timeline for the Sweetgrass videos? I have to have them online by like the end of April, since we're funded through Heritage. So the the project will be up at the end of April. So I basically have to have them online by then. But I've been traveling. I've been at conferences. We've been filming. We've done 3 sessions with Wes already, and so we have one more winter session coming up. We don't have a timeline on that one yet. We're just gonna like take a break, and have some other folks that I've talked to that want to do some filming, and I've talked to some other communities that want to talk about language revitalization and try some stuff out. And like, I feel like I'm a professional mind changer now. Is there like a title for that? Where basically I just talk to people and I try to change their minds about how to go about. Because right, like if schooling, like if the K to 12 system and the books and the stuff that we're doing now was going to produce fluent speakers, we would have done it by now, right? We would have done it by now. Like we have to think about the way that we're doing things a little bit differently. And like we can make more. I keep telling everybody we can make more books 20 years from now. We can make flashcards 20 years from now. We can do more classes 20 years from now. The thing that we can't do 20 years from now is come back and record our elders. So we need to be recording our elders like now as much as possible, right? Because every community's got a rich history. They've got, diverse families. Like the area's got its own unique sacred sites, and like there's just so much there, and like and and so many communities are still just dealing with just trying to get by, just like survival mode, right? So we're not going to fix the problem today of like getting everybody out of crisis mode or whatever that looks like that can't be fixed overnight. And leadership is often like really busy working on those problems, right? They've just got so much stuff to deal with. So language often takes, I don't want to say it takes a back burner, but it's like it's slowly slipping away from us, it feels like. And so it's like, no, let's just, I think, record. And then if people have time to do on demand stuff, like we're kind of doing tonight, but you can go on my YouTube and watch any of my stuff whenever you want, when you've got time, when you've got 5 minutes, when you're feeling up to it, when you're not burnt out at the end of the day, right? That's a really good, like, more resources like that to give people the opportunity to do that. Try and get caught up in my comments here. Some comments from this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. If you're going to call me a Jisk, just do it in the language at least. Carmen says, I'm attending First Nations University, but the classes seem so intimidating as well. Nonetheless, online ones. Yeah, connect with others. I think that's the best thing to do. Like, find somebody to study with. Um, find a phone a friend, right? Yeah, Lord's office. ¿Cómo estás? Sagwe sis, hope I'm saying that right. Would you help me with my Creek class? I'll do my best if you want to send me a message or something. I'll do my best. I do get a little bit busy, but if you send me a message, I will message you back. Or you can, we have a Discord too. You can jump in there and ask questions, and there's folks that can help out. Aha, Trudy, thanks for stopping in. Mia sin mio tipskanse. Colin says, get the top linguist of your indigenous language as a friend. Great advice. Yeah, I would say so. I think that the challenge there is like anybody who's got experience in linguistics in indigenous languages usually pretty busy, but yeah, definitely just make connections for sure. I was teasing Auntie when we were in Winnipeg that like he might take 6 months to email you back, but he always does. I was trying to compliment him. I hope I didn't insult him at the same time, but the guy's just swamped, right? He's just one of those people. But if you send him an email, he won't just be like, yeah, this or that or whatever. He'll send you this like elaborate. Eric's the same way. You'll get this elaborate detailed email back that's just so well thought out. And so I try not to bother those people too much, just because I don't want them to take half an hour out of their day to write me this super elaborate email. Like, just try to be respectful of their time. Noreen says, newcomers in my Mi'kmaq classes seem to have more confidence. Mia Sin. That's amazing. Mi'kmaq. Then try more. Yep. Yeah, just go to classes and connect with other learners. That's what I recommend. Four Feathers says, oop, comments keep jumping on me here. I am teaching my grandbaby to talk and understand some basics. And if you have kids or grandkids, I always say, don't teach them. Don't teach your kids. Just speak the language, especially if they're little. Just they'll figure it out. Man, I've said things. It's weird. My 8-year-old, over the years, I would message a fluent speaker and ask, how do I say this, or how do I put this in context correctly, or whatever. They send me something and I would say it to my kid and she would just go do it. And I'm like, how does that work? She just inferred or figured out what I was saying. So like, especially if they're little, don't teach them. Just speak to them. Just speak the language. Just don't even use English. We're in English immersion all the time. So where are you getting your language immersion from? Noreen says, I find that so interesting, and we coach students to have a growth mindset in learning. You've got to definitely, so what we're doing here, especially with transcribing and stuff, is trying to not only gain exposure. So, okay, this is my current method, right? So we've just done transcribing of the language. We just worked on some stuff from Wes from Sweetgrass. We did another couple hours tonight, gained a few more words, filled in a few more phrases. Then I'll go back this week. I'll transcribe some other stuff, but I'll go back and I'll listen to those stories again. Repetition is really the process for me. I'll go back and then listen to them again. Then I will be like, oh, I understand even more now. And then we'll transcribe again next week, and then I'll do it again, and then we'll transcribe it next week and do it again. I'll even branch out and listen to some other stuff. Other recordings, go on YouTube. I'll listen to Jim Gani Petitio. I'll listen to whatever else, right? Using the new words that I've gained to try and fill in more of that understanding. And I think if you get to a certain point where you understand like a good percentage of what's going on, then the brain will start doing the work and fill in the gaps. That's my theory anyway. Core language time is not enough. The thing about immersion though, is immersion only works with little ones really well. If you could get a set of adults for 6 months and put them in immersion, you could get a lot done. But if you create a forced immersion environment with adults, you will create trauma. You will traumatize them. Forced immersion does not work with adults. Immersion works great with little brains because their brains they're not hardwired a certain way yet. Little brains are like sponges. They just take stuff in. But as we get older and as we're grown, if you can go into immersion, but you also need the ability to come out and say, what does that mean? Like you need to be able to fall back on some of your survival skills, use a little bit of English, and then if we go back into immersion, that's fine. But if it's forced immersion, then people will become traumatized. And we have examples of that out here, to the point where the folks who were through those programs won't even say the name of the person who did them. There was so much, my child is trying to call me. Yeah, so with little ones, yeah, if they're, say, under 12, 10, 8, the younger they are, just speak the language. As they get a little bit older, don't, I would say, was it Belinda Daniels, I think, and Andrea, or there was a book about speaking the language in the home. And like they talked about in there, I think, like creating like language zones, right? The kitchen is now a language zone. When you come in here, the expectation is set that you're going to use language here, right? Then we're going to learn all those words and phrases. How do we say this? We'll figure all that stuff out. And then after 6 months, then we'll extend that zone to the dining room, right? Now all of those things that we do in there, we're just going to use language. But the expectation is set that you need to use language there. But also you can leave that zone if you need a break, right? Colin says, my friend's extremely fluent. Noreen, relax and have fun with learning. Don't be too hard on yourself. Dapway. Vince says, my grandmother would speak Cree to me, when I was a child. That's how I spoke it more growing up. Yeah, sin. Yeah, I think Colin's got a point there too. Don't be afraid you don't know something. Don't let a fragile ego stop you. It's easy to, especially when you get, I mean, as soon as you have a bit of language, people come up and start asking you questions. So it's very important to be like, no idea. No idea. Marie says, our sacred laws and our humanity are contained in our language. Yeah. Top way. Yeah, top way. All right. Well, I love these discussions. I just love hanging out with y'all. It's such a fun. Mel says, I record my 83-year-old father all the time. That is amazing. Amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. Get all that knowledge, like our old people just have a aha, tapos kista calling. You mino nepan. Neban. Mino neban. To brush up on my niche here. The number of times I thought to myself, boy, I wish I could go back and talk with my grandma or my granny, you know. Hear some of those stories again. Yeah. And that'll be something that if you keep those recordings for your kids, your grandkids, you know, they may not be interested in those things now, but they will be. Hey? They will be at some point. They'll get older and they'll be like, wow. And you know, this phone you carry around in your pocket, what a piece of technology. Like we're going to these technology conferences and people start talking about AI and all this other stuff. It's like, that's fine. Like I'm a software engineer. I get it. I get AI. I understand it. But it's like the greatest piece of technology that we have for language revitalization, in my opinion, is your phone. It's in your pocket. You can just pull it out and record a story at any time you want and go back and listen to it. Right? And maybe your car to go visit, the tea kettle to make tea. I appreciate that some of these technological marvels can do lots of things because, you know, we work in tech too or whatever. One of the linguists I'm working with, she tells the joke all the time to her friends about how I said, why would you want to make transcribing any faster? Apparently they laugh every time. But really it's like through this process, the advances in fluency that I've made this summer are through the process you are doing with me now. You are gifting me with language. We are gifting ourselves with language by going through this process. And then along the way, you know, we get these contributions from our knowledge holders sharing with us as we go. What a beautiful thing. And if you all have cups of tea, I have my tea, right? And if we get in the same space at the same time, then sit down and have tea and have supper together or whatever that looks like. I finally got some muskeg-opago when I was out in Saskatoon. Muskeg-opago, muskeg tea. It's so good. I can't find it out here where I'm living now. Back home, it grows all over the place, man. When I was a kid, you could walk through the bush without stepping on muskeg tea. It was everywhere. But now, out here where I am now, I can't find it anywhere, so I had to buy some. Colin says, oh yeah, awesome. I listened to Muskogee Lodge Keeper singing at a fast ceremony. Yep, this is Nihiwe and Plains Crew. I dialect. Let me bring up the folks. Oh, you can tell I'm just about done here. So if you go to this one here, and yeah, and again we were working tonight on this one, that first story, how Sweetgrass became chief, and we're gonna be done in a couple weeks, and then we'll move on to Atsimuanpeyak, this one here, which actually I think Wes told me twice, because the first time he told it, I don't think I realized it was the story. He tells a story about when laws became made, and I think that's that one. I think that's the same one. So I think I have two different versions of that story. Ispite Tagos, and I don't know if that's the best title for that or not. Sometimes I listen to these and it's the same thing. I know lots of the words, but then the phrasing or sometimes I'll only be able to follow to some degree, especially when it gets into the more advanced stuff. If it's a story, I have an easier time following. Like when Sweetgrass became chief, I I was able to follow most of that story. And the same with the Coming Day story. Coming Day flies out of a car, and I'd heard it too a couple times, so it was a little bit easier to follow. But when he gets into the teachings, right, and then there's a lot of advanced words in there that I don't understand, then I have to go back and listen to those several times because there's a lot of advanced language in there. So anyway, but yeah, we'll start on this one next. That'll be the next one, and we'll just work through them in order. A funny story, Sweetgrass flies off a car. I have another funny story about Wes's grandpa. A story that his mom would tell about, it's called The Wind and Rain Are My Friends. I've got two different versions of that, two different copies of that story, two different tellings. And then The Smaller Apple, which was about, it's a story about residential schools, but it also ends as a funny story about, I think it was his dad, he said, and a larger boy. And his dad had the difficult decision of should I take the big apple or the smaller apple? It's kind of funny. That one's about when Canada was made, I think he said. It's interesting, and there's a lot of high language in there again. And then Gitsatsumona, there's a bunch of stories. The thing is that when I put these up, like that one's an hour long. But when I put these stories up, there'll sometimes be 2 or 3 or 4 stories in there, and I'm not always confident with where I might want to slice them, and so I'm just like, I'll just put them up in their entirety and give it a name. And then I told Wes too, you know, if you want me to change the name of any of these, just let me know, and we'll go back and adjust it. Oh, Mia Sin Mel says, I will show the videos of Wes to my father. I know he knows Wes very well. That's awesome. Mia Sinanma. Yeah. And if you have, if you know somebody that has stories, wants to be recorded, if I meaning to do some tutorials on recording equipment or something like that, but if you know somebody who's looking that would want to share their stories, maybe in and around Edmonton or in and around that area, let me know next time I'm in town, and I'll be in town with my gear. I'm happy to come and help get set up to record, or come in and do some recording, or whatever that looks like. I started a project called the 2,000 Hour Project, again coming out of this recording sessions with Wes, realizing that it really forces a question is what it's about. If it takes 2,000 hours of immersion to become reasonably fluent in indigenous language, it's probably more than that, but we'll just say 2,000. I say 2,000 and everybody keeps nodding at that, so that's the number I'm using. If it takes 2,000 hours of immersion to become reasonably fluent in an indigenous language, how do we guarantee that we have access to 2,000 hours worth of materials? Because there are communities where I think I was talking with someone from Big River, I think, and they were saying they have younger people speaking like in their 20s. And I'm like, that's great. That's great. But for a lot of communities, that keeps getting a decade older, 40s, 50s, 60s, we're not, for a lot of communities, they're not in the child rearing ages anymore. And then we have children whose parents don't speak. It's very common, or at least from the folks that I've talked to, it's becoming more and more common, and it's scary. So the process of listening to recordings, or watching videos of our fluent speakers is just a given for me at this point. And that's something else I can do also. If you, Marie says there are technology to convert old recordings on beta or old tape recordings to digital format. I do that specifically. If you need help with that, let me know. If you are an individual and you have tapes or cassettes or reel-to-reels, let me know. I will do them for free. If you're an organization and you have funding, then we can figure that out. But that is also something that I do. I've been a sound engineer for about 25 years, so I have all of the equipment in the world. And if it's something you want to do for yourself, I can come in and help you get set up and show you the right process to make sure that you get a good quality Conversions, I also do audio restoration work. Depending on the quality of the recording, lots of them can be just cleaned up to make them a little bit easier to listen to. But yeah, if you have VHS tapes or if you have any of those old little discs, mini DV, all of that kind of stuff can help you do that conversion if you need. Yeah, Mel, shoot me a message, a DM on TikTok here, Mel, and we'll get connected. That would be amazing. And we got a grant for this, and I think we may have the ability to do some extra recordings. But even if not, I mean, like we'll just come up with a gift or something to make sure for your father or whatever. We'll figure it out. I would just love to go around and record people full time. It's super fun. Nat says, I'm so happy I stumbled onto your live, so informative. Glad you got something out of it. I have never lived in Fort Mac or worked there. Albert? Yeah, mio tips kansi, mio gausmo, mio guame. Kista kananaskumtin. Tapwe. Ja. Ja. Kista gawi mio tips kansian. Gawi mio tips kansin. Tapwe. Yeah. Marie, again, I thank you for joining and sharing your knowledge and your words and helping with our process here. Always grateful. Yeah, so I'll leave my pitch at that tonight. I'm gonna go have some supper. My son makes green curry. I think that's what he made tonight. Gate na peo. Is that Colin? Awa gate na peo no te gau sa mo me guats. Yeah, gate na peo. Yeah, mia sin. Old guy? Would you say that for gate na peo, old guy? Is that what that would be? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Thanks for stopping in. A few folks too did from Facebook too, which was nice. I don't know if Twitch worked tonight. I don't think it did. I've been trying to get that connected. It just says it's not working, so it's fine. Hopefully next week we'll get this TikTok thing sorted out. We just about had the computers working, so TikTok was doing what I wanted, and then I don't know. What a pain. We'll figure it out. Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're gonna kill the live stream there. The recordings go on my YouTube, so you can always go back and watch the replays back there if there was something you missed, or for further study or any of that kind of stuff. So, asai mi nakakio kitam skat now. Yeah, nimiwetin miste he kape gio goyek. Kape ay witi ye kanuts tanhiwas taya kuma atsimuna. Ego ay tapoy mi asinan may egsisi wiyo apsisi wiyo o pasaguna ma kuma kapik school no itetaman sisi wi ay opinamak e witi so yak. Asay mina especially if gagi tam sis e totamaki gue to skatamak ay atsumona po ay natotamona ay pukuga natoto ay kite ay sinuga pagas kenehiwit mana kispenote nehiwia ako. If we want to acquire language, we have to listen to fluent speakers. Osama, that's the way language is transmitted. That's the way we'll get it back. Okay, so we're gonna leave it there tonight. Again, I'm grateful for everybody that came in tonight, and if I get a chance, I'll sneak in an extra live stream this week. If not, we'll see you again all on Sunday. Okay. Exceptama muestas. And I think my YouTube stream is still going because I can't get my encoder to stop. Let's try it here. We'll do it this way. Okay, good night.